That's how I get ready for the show.
Okay, I was like, we start.
No, this is really like this is like how I feel, bro. Like the liquor kind of like already like going through my body.
That's good. That's what I did.
So we are starting. By the way, we already going.
Oh, okay.
Like it's like right now midsection.
I'm ready, baby.
Welcome to the show, bro.
Thank you, man. I'm excited, bro. I'm good. How you?
I am good. I'm lit. It's been a great week. It's been a long week.
Okay.
It's been a long 4 months since I had somebody in that chair. So yeah, it's been a while, man.
Hey, let's warm it up, baby.
Yeah, I think you told me. I think it probably relates to the whole rebranding thing and the whole self-realization.
Yeah.
We'll see when we talk about that later in the show. But it's this drink you got me drinking.
Listen.
I normally drink tequila. Y'all know I'm a tequila guy. I only drink tequila. But now I'm on whiskey.
Okay.
So I guess it's my introduction to manhood. Cause that's my introduction to manhood. Y'all just put some hair on my chest. I don't grow hair on my chest, so it's gonna help.
So you need it.
It's just gonna help.
Okay.
No, is it gonna help?
It's gonna help.
You promise?
I mean, I hope so.
Can you assume, like, can you guarantee? So how long? Like how many months?
I feel like I can't guarantee, but I feel like if you get the strongest version of whatever this is, it's gonna put hair on your chest and on your face.
Like you said, whatever this is, because they ain't paying us for this name.
Exactly.
So cheers to you being on the show, bro.
Hey,
Thank you so much. Cheers to you guys. This is episode 3.
Okay.
But for real though, welcome to Live with Lamar. I'm your guy, your boy, the amazing, the magnificent, the also humble and handsome Lamar Robinson. This is my boy AT or Antoine Tate. I brought him on the show because we got some interesting things to talk about. A lot of my fans, a lot of my friends know that I'm a wrestling fan. A lot of people actually don't. I wouldn't say I was ashamed about being a wrestling fan. I just never talked about it. But I love wrestling. Like that's like my happy place. How people love like anime and they love cartoons, Disney. I always was like wrestling. Like that's I don't always watch it Monday through Tuesday.
It's a lot of wrestling, bro. I don't know.
It's a lot of it. Do you feel like you ever get like over consumed with all the different products of wrestling?
I wouldn't say over consumed, even overwhelmed, but it's fun. I like to keep up with it through like social media and just reading about it.
Yeah. What about all the different promotions? Because there's WWE, there's AEW, there's New Japan. I don't watch New Japan. I've never even watched New Japan ever. TNA.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be real with you. Like, if they were available, I would watch it. They're not really available. There's not access to it. It's like that growing up too. Like, if I had access to TNA growing up, then I would have watched it more. Like,
well, you Raw or SmackDown?
Oh, SmackDown, easy. SmackDown. Hey, my man. Hey, SmackDown, boy. SmackDown all the time.
Yeah. I missed a lot of the Raw storylines because I didn't have cable. So all I could watch was UPN. That's when SmackDown came out on Thursdays. Like, so that's what I was used to watching. So it was always like weird. So I agree with you on the point of the accessibility of it. So for those of you guys that don't know, me and Ant actually realized our AT. I'm sorry. He told me to call him Ant.
I do hate Ant.
I'm sorry. And he told me, I said, bro, you want me to call you AT? You want me to call you Antoine? He said, yeah, because you call me Ant earlier. I said, I ain't really like that.
but I receive it, but I prefer AT or Antoine. Just call me Antoine.
I respect that. But one thing we realized, we met about a year ago. Our good friend Gianno, fantastic photographer out here in Los Angeles, did a meet and greet across the street actually. And a lot of
I didn't realize that till I came here last time.
It's like literally across the street.
I was like, damn, it's right here.
Like we walked over there type shit. And I was like, wow, this park's up. I only been in that park twice.
Okay.
That time and then one time before on social media break day, whatever the hell it was. Like unplug day.
What is that?
Like when you unplug from social media and people and shit like that. So I went across the street to the park and like journal.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
I've never done that before. I don't know what that is. Okay.
It's a whole day.
Damn, that's crazy. I do know about Nickelodeon.
Don't you work in social media?
Which is why I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow, true. Okay, respectfully. But we realized we both had a love for wrestling. And it was like that. So it's a perfect episode. There's a lot of things going on with WWE. And what better person to have on my show to talk about wrestling than someone that I know appreciates the product just as much as I do. So what I want to ask you is this.
Okay.
When did you realize you first fell in love with wrestling?
I fell in love with wrestling in 1997.
Oh, you know the date.
I'm gonna tell you why. Not because of the show, like watching it, because of a certain wrestler.
I thought you had a guess.
It's not really a hard guess. I would just say that at this time, she was the biggest female star at the time.
Trish Stratus was not wrestling at the time.
Not wrestling. No, actually, at the time, China wasn't the biggest.
Who the hell is wrestling?
It's only one
Sable.
name. Thank you, damn it, Sable.
You love Sable.
Sable. Like, man, listen, people was talking about Sable like just before I even cared about wrestling. Like, I always knew wrestling existed, played all the video games, but it was people's love for Sable and how obsessed they were with Sable. That I was like, yo, who this white girl? Who this white bitch? And then and then '98 hit, and that's when I was like all in with Sable.
You know what's crazy though with Sable? I only know my first memory of Sable was during the period when her and Tori Wilson. Dawn Marie.
Damn.
So I don't know anything before that. So whenever we talked about Sable, I was always confused. I'm like, why does you like highly praise this woman? Like she was always like a wrestling vixen to me type thing. But I feel like you almost consider her a pioneer.
I feel like people they underestimate Sable. You know, because there's like a lot of negative issues that will happen with her legally, etc. But like you have to take into account the time of that wrestling era. It was attitude. It was crazy. It was sexual. And Sable was like. At that time, she was almost as big as Stone Cold, because The Rock wasn't as big at the time, not yet. But like Stone Cold was apex, Sable was that girl, and by '98 she was out of this world big.
Was she wrestling? Like she wasn't even wrestling though. She was just there. No.
But so she was a manager for her then husband Mcmahon, I believe.
Correct.
And then when he had got injured, she was just still there, and like over time she became popular just by walking outside out the ring with just like promoting something with props, and she just kept getting big pops. So by the time he came back, she was a megastar.
Do you feel like she should have or could have, or do you feel like her role would have been to be like a women's champion? Because she don't have. I think she maybe has one title reign.
You know, I don't remember if it was one or two, but I do remember that. I remember how she got the title and why she got the title. I think she was appropriate. She was the biggest star in China at the time, who was now getting big. She was in the women's division, so.
Who, China?
Yeah, China wasn't.
I have my feelings about China.
I hope is on her side. Don't offend me.
See, okay, so whenever we talk about China, and China's highly regarded as one of the greatest female competitors in WWE.
Okay.
Right. So, but whenever we try to put her into the women's division, that's where I get conflicted, because I feel like China, although she was a female wrestler, and she may have had some female matches, and she may have won the women's championship once. She was mainly a male competitor.
I mean, I wouldn't say she's a male competitor, but she competed with the men.
A lot more than she competed with the women.
Oh, for sure.
So it's hard for me to consider her one of the greatest female competitors, but I can consider her one of the best competitors in general.
No, she is a female competitor regardless.
But she wasn't fighting the women.
But she wasn't, I wouldn't say she was a part of the division, really. She wasn't part of the female division.
So how can we, when we're talking about like the 50 greatest women's wrestlers, etc.
She's still a women's wrestler.
But she was not wrestling. She didn't do anything for that division.
It's not about being the best women's wrestler in the division. It's being the best women's wrestler in general. And I think she was one of the best of all time.
She didn't fight the women.
She did fight the women. So what? But she's dead. Technically, she still did. So I'm just saying.
But I can, if she was working like Trish and Lita, Sable, like they were, she could even have been a manager, like a main woman's, like she mainly. I'm not saying she was a dude, but
I mean most people did, which is disrespectful. But you know, R.I.P.
If she's out here wrestling Eddie Guerrero and Chris Jericho in matches, whooping their ass, mind you, like holding her own. I don't know, I'm a female. She was like, really, I'm a competitor. It's hard for me to consider her in the women's division. I'm always.
But I mean, I get that. But at the end of the day, she still technically did compete with women before she left. So she's a part of the division, and she actually would have had a bigger role in the division had she not left or gotten fired.
So do you believe that she's in the top 10 best women's wrestlers?
In the division, no. Overall, yes. No, because you got what are you talking about? In WWE, yes. But overall, no. Shit, it's China. China was a beast. But then if you want to get technical, like how deep are we getting? Because you're talking about technical wrestling, and you're talking about character work, you're talking about popularity. Because
I'm just saying, when I look at China, I think I put her in the male division.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say.
All right.
Okay, this is another question I got for you. Past and present, favorite wrestlers. Because you talk about Sable, obviously. You can mix up with male and women.
Yeah.
So who are some of your favorite competitors, both in the past and current day?
I mean, to be honest with you, Sable's not even my biggest favorite. She just happened to be the one that kind of got me into it. And then it was Stone Cold and The Rock. Like all three of them kind of ushered me in. But I would say that in the past, let's say Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression.
Absolutely, one of the best eras.
Sable got me into it. But who kept me going was, I would have to say that I wasn't the biggest Stone Cold guy at the time. Over time, I became a fan of his. but it was The Rock. And obviously Sable were the ones. But then, in 2000, The Rock became like the apex star because Stone Cold got injured.
He did.
So I was a big fan of The Rock. In that same era, we ushered in Trish, and we ushered in Lita, and then we had Chyna and Eddie Guerrero. And then also Mankind. So like, I feel like those 6, like those are my favorites of that time. Like hands down, like when I think about them, it makes me feel good. I think 2000 was a great year for wrestling.
I believe it.
It was a fantastic year for wrestling.
I like that.
And that's without Stone Cold.
So I feel like Stone Cold and The Rock are like Tupac and Biggie.
Oh hell yeah.
So who would you pick?
As in what? My personal favorite, I'm gonna go with The Rock. But if you're talking about like impacting the industry itself,
Definitely Stone Cold.
Stone Cold, you have to. He was first. You gotta give him. He's first.
Who's the better wrestler?
Who's the better wrestler? Damn. I never thought about the question. I think
As
that.
many times the men wrestle, they like Roman and Brock Lesnar.
Now I'm saying, but I never thought about their wrestling ability when against each other. Like I think, from what I recall, I've always enjoyed The Rock's wrestling more than Stone Cold.
Because it was entertainer, because it was like.
I think that wrestling is one thing to be able to deliver the moves. It's another thing to be able to sell the moves. And The Rock sold everybody. Easy. He was entertaining. Like you punch him, that motherfucker would fly over the ropes, up the ramp, and then hit the goddamn Titantron.
A whole handstand.
Yeah.
And then
flapjack and flipping and shit. Like
he's
yo,
definitely one of the best sellers. Him and Shawn Michaels.
easy. Yes. Amongst men, The Rock, HBK, hands down. I think Ric Flair's really good at it too, even though he's older. Ric Flair. And regarding women, it's Trish Stratus, because she took everybody. She took a beating.
Trish, I just want you to know, I always had a biggest crush on you.
Yeah.
She don't like how she used to look, but I still love her.
She don't?
She look like
some more thicky Stratus.
If you look at Trish, right? If you literally look at Trish now, every time she I follow her on Instagram. So when I see her picture, I be like,
Me
damn,
too.
I be like, damn, okay, Trish. Then I'm like, damn, you don't like you look good, but like she should look like different, like. Actually, like she looks way different. I guess she's older now.
She's older. She's actually more a little slim and fit. Back then, she was thick.
She was hella thick.
She was thick. She was younger. Trish was a baddie.
Nice little white woman.
Trish is the baddie. I ain't never been with a baddie. Okay.
I hate you for that. Okay. I think my competitor, like for me, I'm gonna say his name. I can't say his name because I feel like I might get flat on you.
Don't.
You know that's what
we better say.
You know.
We'll let it start with.
See?
Oh! You trying to get canceled?
I can't talk about him, but he was. I love the cripple crossface.
Okay.
Undertaker by default, always my favorite wrestler who just.
Who doesn't love Undertaker?
He's my number one. I mean, people do love him. He's my number one favorite wrestler of all time. I love Undertaker. It was the presence, the dead man, just the aura, like whether he had his championships or not. I loved everything about The Undertaker. Eddie Guerrero, huge fan.
That's the one, man.
Eddie was that whole lot shit instilled. Rest in peace to him as well. Was fucking phenomenal. We talk about women. Tori Wilson had my heart.
Okay, I love Tori Wilson. I love Stacey Keebler too, and Stacey.
And Stacey had them legs.
I
love Tori. Tori was my baby. You know, I mean, she for me, and it kind of goes to today. It's kind of like for me, I envision Tori, Kelly, Liv Morgan.
Regarding what?
To me, they're like the underdog pretty girl that
pretty white
fans
women?
love. You said pretty white women?
Pretty white women.
That's what we calling them? WWE has
Kelly was definitely underdog. I don't know about Tori.
Baby.
I don't know about Tori. So let me get this straight. So like you're more of a ruthless aggression, Divas era, PG era? Like, is that what yours?
Okay, so I'm glad you brought up Divas era. And now this sounds okay because like we're giving so much love to the women of wrestling.
Because I'm a big fan though.
I am too.
I'm a big fan of women's wrestling.
I love the women of wrestling. Like that was like my favorite part. And I'm glad that they're now being recognized. To me, they put on some of the better products of some of the men today. Like they be, and I guess they gotta work harder and show out more. So they be doing like some wild shit. But like the 4 horsewomen, like they be showing their ass, and even like the jumping off the ladders, like they be taking some hits.
We gotta talk about them, man.
So they're amazing. But the Divas division, the Divas era. The Maurice, the Beth Phoenix, the Mickie James, the Michelle McCool, they don't get the credit that they deserve, and I hate that. And then we also want to talk about the Divas Revolution, right? And we also want to skip straight ahead to the Bella Twins, which don't get me started on them motherfuckers.
Listen,
I don't understand how they got. I don't understand.
All
why
right,
they're so high.
okay.
Wait. I'm gonna talk my shit to
talk your shit, okay?
To the Divas division. The Divas Championship in the Divas era was one of the best eras. Melina, sorry, baby. And Melina.
So, baby, we won't get there. Listen, I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you finish. And we gonna get on that because I got something to say about
Divas
Melina.
division was fire. Fire. Mickey James, she was already fired. Melina came a long way from just being a manager to one of the best. Eve Torres did amazing. Beth Phoenix dominated. Michelle McCool, who they constantly, I don't understand why her husband is the Undertaker. Why is she not highly more respected than she should be up there? That, like, Michelle McCool, it was the Charlotte Flair back then.
To be fair, and I thought about this earlier actually, it's Charlotte is Charlotte. Michelle McCool could have been Charlotte, but I think the predecessors to them both was Solange Blaze. Just putting it out there.
Okay, that was before my time before I watched it. But
Medusa
you know
was all them.
But Michelle McCool was a beast, and she was definitely.
I think she was.
I love Michelle. And she married my favorite wrestler. Look at that. Look how that worked out.
It is. I will say that from what I did see of the Divas division, before the Divas era even came, we were already annoyed by the Divas search. And so we kind of, although I did like a lot of the stars Michelle came from it, I was a big fan of Christy. Love Christy, Joy, Amy, all them.
Georgie, Giovanni, oh my God.
Georgie, okay, listen, come on, man. I just want to point out. I just want to point out.
I used to have this theme right to where first of all, I love her theme song. And like I used to like for some reason it's like hard to find George Giovanni content on YouTube, and I don't know why. Like I always get in this moment like I want to see George Giovanni.
Well, I would say this: so George Giovanni and Amy Weber, they for them. Listen, for them, I know my shit, boy. But for them to not be actual wrestlers, I must admit, I was doing by the Diva search. They had a little small mini feud where Amy was with JBL and Joy was with Big Show. Boom. That was a really fun ass like small feud between two women that weren't wrestlers.
Can we talk about? This is a side up, but it made me think about this. I think it was around the air, but it might not have been. Can we talk about when did you think when Big Show chokeslammed Kurt Angle from that balcony was real?
No.
I definitely did.
I was a damn near an adult by then.
Oh, you was.
I was like 15 or something. That was adult to me.
He looked old.
I was an adult by 15.
His age, but he's a little bit older than I am. If you know my age, he's a little bit older than that.
Not by much. I said I was like 15th on the air. Do the math. But no. So like this. So I want to say that. So like for the Divas era, before I get into current era, the Divas era. Again, I kind of faded out, but I was still keeping up with it. I was a little annoyed by it because the WWE wanted to make them. They wanted them to be Trish Stratus-ish, but they actually ended up being more like Tori Wilson. So people blame
is modelly.
People blame Trish Stratus for the whole model turn wrestling thing. That's true, but Tori Wilson's actually more of the template she was the template for all the girls now.
Playboy girl. It was the I'm just there to be pretty, which is like again what Kelly became because the whole extreme expose with ECW. So Trish Stratus, yes, she started off with this whole sexy thing, but Trish Stratus was actually a real wrestler. And she was sexy, but I didn't think about sexy. Tori Wilson was like, hey, this is it's the Great American Bash, like
eye candy.
You know, I'm eye candy. I got my American flag. Woo woo.
Still legendary.
I'm amazed she did her job.
Yep.
You know what I mean? She did what she was supposed to. Then later she became a real wrestler.
Yeah.
But Tori was just is a showgirl.
Yeah, but the point is like I wanted to bring up like Melina and Mickey James and Beth Phoenix. So I am a mega fan of Melina. Right?
Love Melina.
Big fan of Melina. I wish that she get more credit that she deserves. I know that her legacy was tainted by backstage politics, all that kind of BS. Mm-hmm. But Melina was a beast. And she made everybody look good. Talking about sellers, Trish Stratus and Melina. And Sasha Banks. They sell. They make you look good. And so Melina's my favorite. I just wish that like once that era hit, they stopped focusing on wrestling. Once Lena Trish left, they stopped focusing on like the whole wrestling aspect. It was more about looks. And then fast forward to now, like I got back into wrestling and it was like 08 was probably the end, and then 19 is when I picked back up. So like full time. Yo, I love the Four Horsewomen now. It took a while for me to warm up to them. Like I heard about Sasha and Charlotte and Bayley and Becky, but I must admit that it was Kofi and Becky that got me back in. They got me back in.
We gonna talk about Kofi Kingston.
They got me back. They got me back in.
Talk about Kofi.
Becky and Kofi got me back in to the point I wanted to watch WrestleMania for them. And this about me catching up. And then eventually I saw that same WrestleMania. I saw Sasha and I saw Bayley with the women's tag team titles, all that BS. And then Charlotte and Ronda, which bless Ronda's heart. And
Ronda go back to UFC.
I like Ronda, but bless her heart.
In the UFC.
Listen, she's cool with me. Okay, she cool with me. I don't want no beef with no Ronda in this camp.
She's trash.
No, to be fair.
Let's be fair.
Before she came back recently, when Ronda left like the 19 with that era, she actually was. I liked her character back then. I don't care about her character now. I think it's corny, and I think it's like really fucking her up. Like all the little corny jokes, the little one-liners.
I don't even watch her stuff because I'm already tired of her.
I am tired of her. But the four horsewomen are my favorites.
Who's your favorite four horsewomen? Go ahead and say it.
I had to think about this.
Just say it.
It was a toss up. It's two of them. It's two that I love. I love all four of them, but it's two. I think now, if I'm being honest with myself,
disrespect my hand.
It's,
you know who I want you to
my
say.
favorite is Sasha Banks.
You know what you say.
But
Charlotte Flair is the greatest women's wrestler.
No,
I am a Flair
damn
fan.
It's Sasha Banks.
Do it with Flair.
All right.
13 or 14.
Let's do this right now. Let's do this right now. Let's do this right now.
14
On your show, I want to do this right now. You ready?
Charlotte Flair.
Let's rank them. Let's rank the four horsewomen.
Okay, easy.
Boom. Let's go based off who is the best mic talker.
Charlotte Flair.
I actually don't agree.
Charlotte Flair.
I actually think it's.
You gonna say Becky?
I was gonna say Bailey.
The new Bailey, maybe.
But no, it's still Bailey. I think Bailey's actually the best mic talker. Who's the best actual wrestler?
Charlotte Flair.
You had to think about it. You a damn lie. It's
No,
Sasha Banks. I want
to be fair. I want to be fair to you.
Banks.
I want to be fair. Charlotte Flair and Charlotte Flair. That's two.
Bailey, Sasha is the best wrestler. Actually, Sasha and Bailey, man. I don't know, but I'm gonna say Sasha. Okay. Best, the best character. Yeah, think about it. Be honest.
I'm being fair.
Be honest.
I'm being fair.
Best character.
Out of all of them that I like, it's gonna be Charlotte Flair.
Don't be biased.
It's not
Becky.
biasness.
Becky.
New Becky, maybe.
No, even the man is dope. No, she's still. She's still.
If Becky did not bleed during that brawl, she would not be. It's only because she bled.
But
it's only because Ronda punched her in her nose.
But she did. Okay.
It was Nia Jax, right? It wasn't Ronda. It was Nia Jax.
Whatever.
Because Becky bled, now people want to think she's the best, and she's not.
Becky ran with it. Okay, but that
ran into the ground.
Cool. So wrestling, a best wrestler, Mike, charisma. That being said, I think that overall, who's good at the mic, who's good at wrestling, who has the best charisma and best character, I do think it's Charlotte, which is why I understand why she's like at the pinnacle. I like how they built up Bianca Belair though. For the most part, they had some.
Shout out to the fact that WWE has so many black women in their product.
They used to.
From referee.
I mean, they used to. Two of them ain't there no more.
We gonna get to them.
Okay.
But the referees,
they tried.
And Bianca Belair, who are doing phenomenal. They're doing great within the product.
They did.
Bianca's doing amazing. She has some looks. And this is a different thing. You know what a dream match I have?
What's your dream match?
And this is like cross promotion now. You know,
of course, I know you're going.
I
love her too. I love her.
I want to see Bianca and Jade.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a face off.
It's crazy we haven't talked about any other promotion. AEW's out there too.
AEW's there, and I don't care for it.
I do.
But I respect some of the people that's in the program, and Jade is one of those. And Bianca is killing WWE, and she's a beautiful black woman with her long, beautiful braid, and she's killing it. She's strong. She's married to Montez Ford, who's killing the program. Bianca's a two-time women's champion.
Mm-hmm. SmackDown
and Raw. And she's always been the feature of the program.
Yeah, I'm happy they recovered her. They recovered because how they built her up to some of WrestleMania with Sasha Banks. That match is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I really was engaged by that.
The first two black women to headline WrestleMania.
Yeah, and it showed out, man.
And won an ESPY for it.
And won the award, baby.
And won an
mainstream shit. But I'm happy that they recovered with Bianca Belair, and I think that right now her reign is kind of not as strong still, but it's because of everyone, they're not there right now. Like all the heels are gone. So I still feel like they're doing a good job with Bianca. And I do love Jade Cargill. I think that Jade is still green, but we're seeing her grow. And Jade is the first of her kind in the wrestling world. There's never been another black woman who is as tall as her, as strong as her, as talented, and as beautiful.
It's so fucking dope to see black women like running the industry. Like they're two world champions right now between Bianca and Jade, and I would love to see that matchup.
And then also you gotta highlight Tasha Steelz over there in Impact. I'm not sure about NWA, but black women at one point had the championships like in most of the brands.
They weren't because Tasha, they were all champions.
They all were champions. That was like really fire. And you never seen that because all we had in the past was Jacqueline and Jazz. We had Shaniqua for a slight reign, but it was mostly Jacqueline.
I thought she could have been so much better.
She could have been. And she probably, she could have been.
But she was in a different, the period of time wasn't just, they didn't care about women's wrestling.
And I just thought this was a good time to even highlight just Jacqueline and Jazz.
But I appreciate that.
Jazz follows me on Instagram, by the way. So Jazz, if you end up watching this, I love you. Listen, and Jazz, I don't know how or why, but I love Jazz. I think they were the pioneers, and like, especially Jacqueline. Jazz came after Jacqueline. Jacqueline just, you got to give her all the praise. All the black women
that were wrestling back when it wasn't meant for them.
And she did things that she probably shouldn't have done, that she probably didn't want to do. But she also was a woman who competed with men.
Respectfully.
But back to Jade and Bianca, I do want to see them in a match. I don't think Jade is ready just yet, to be honest. I think that she's still growing and she's growing fast. I think that Jade would do far better off with Sasha Banks. I think Sasha Banks would carry Jade, not carry Jade, but she would work well with Jade.
The same way she did with Bianca.
Bianca's already a beast. But the thing is, Bianca had time to develop. Jade didn't. Jade had 1 year, a year and a half, some change at this point, of being on TV at the same time. It's very similar to me like the way Trish Stratus had and Tori Wilson. Like they all grew up and became better wrestlers on TV. They didn't have time to really train. So I think that's what Jade is right now, but I see her future. And that's why she's a TBS champion and not the women's world champion.
Correct.
That's why. So, but one day she will be, and I'm all on that. I love it. Black women killing the game.
They are killing it. I can't even be mad at that. And so we're not gonna keep going over. We're not gonna keep talking about the elephant in the room. Sasha Banks and Naomi.
Oh man.
Two of WWE's best products. Former women's champions, respectfully to both of them.
Yep.
Been in the game for years. Sasha Banks being a 4-horsewoman within her own rights, and Naomi being married to one of the Usos. I always forget which one, Jimmy or Jay.
The Uso.
One of them, right? Okay, we're on the same page. She's married to the Uso. The WWE has been through a lot of controversy lately, and I mean when I say controversy, bro, like I've never seen WWE being covered by the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, The Neighborhood Talk, TMZ, the biggest platforms within black culture. When I see a product, because WWE is like not black culture, but some of the biggest platforms have been covering them because of different controversy. And one of those have been, this never has necessarily has not been in the news. We're gonna get to the other side later. But Sasha Banks and Naomi, former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the first black women's tag team champions, two phenomenal women, two amazing stars, recently walked out of WWE. What was your thoughts on the whole thing?
My initial thought was like, was it a work? Right.
Correct.
I was like, was it part of the storyline? Like, is it like fake? You know?
Because it's like a
storyline.
Right.
But as time went on, I'm like, no, this is real. And everyone's saying it's a work. Like, what they may do is may turn it into a work. So like, where they like, once they work out that shit, they are gonna do that. Like, it was a shoot, right? It was a shoot. So the work is something that's like more written fake, and then shoot is something that's like realistic. But like for me, I thought it was a work, but it ended up being a shoot. And for me, I was happy for him. I was proud of him because one, Naomi been in the company for over 10 years. And I feel like it wasn't until recently where she really was getting that push. And then going into the tag team thing, I was like, I'm tired of them just pairing random women's wrestlers with each other, right? But Sasha and Naomi actually does.
It makes sense. It's full circle. They were already a former tag team before, so it made sense.
And so I was all for it. And I was like, finally, with their momentum, they're finally going to give the women's tag team roles like a chance, like really like shine. And the truth be told, women's titles have been the joke since day one. While I love Bayley and Sasha, like anytime Sasha has the titles, it becomes a focus. It's when it's not on Sasha, then it's not a focus. So every time that Sasha had it 3 times are the only times women's championships have got some type of focus. And so for me, I feel like.
By the way, Sasha Banks is Ray J, Brandy, and Snoop Dogg's cousins, for those of you guys that don't know.
Yeah. And then Sasha Banks, as big as of a star she is always used to put other people over. She's always used to put over Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky. Like, it's like, people always say, yeah, but she got hella titles. Yeah, but she had it for like 2 days.
So she has a horrible record now.
A horrible women's title record.
Not really. Every time she defends her title, she loses it.
WrestleMania for like 7 WrestleMania straight.
That's her stigma. She loses every time she defends. She's a great. We love her. She's great. She's a Hollywood superstar, low key. She's just as great as Montez and The Rock and everybody named before. She could be a big star outside of it. You know what I mean? And she's so popular, fans love her, kids love her, but when it comes to that, like she's just not pushed like the number. She should be. She should be at least number 1, number 2.
She should be number 1, number 2.
But she's not.
And then on top of that, the biggest issue I have is that they make it seem like Sasha Banks is the problem. Like she's like this angry black woman. And she's not an angry black woman.
She's not.
She's just like she's tired of being slighted. Like
she should be the star.
She should be a big star.
We have a whole wrestling group on Facebook. Shout out to you for inviting me. I love that group. It's amazing.
Yeah,
like,
they're a fucking mess.
It's amazing. I just be watching this shit.
Black World Order, okay?
Black World. It's a whole group of black people, because I think it's females. There's women in there too, that love wrestling on Facebook. And Antoine. I want to call you. I don't give you.
I don't know. Doesn't call me Ant. Okay.
I call you Anthony. of people, because like I don't know. I feel like I don't want to say like black people enjoying wrestling is like taboo, but I feel like it's like not a thing.
I know. Why is that? Why do you think?
I don't know. Like I feel like it's not cool, but I guess it don't matter. Cause I mean, if you're like nerdy, quote unquote, and you like certain things, and you're kind of into things of that nature. But like I don't know. I started like really like leaning into this is a part of who I am. Like and for me, it's like literally my getaway, my escape to watch wrestling. And a lot of our friends, I know I got friends that are here now. They're like, I haven't watched wrestling in years. I don't give a fuck about that shit. You know, I have taller people. They're like, they always go back to like, yeah, I used to watch it back in, you know, whatever. And I stopped watching it once I realized it was fake. That's what they always say. And here's my thing with it. I never watched wrestling because of the wrestling. It was cool. It's amazing. I loved it because of the storylines.
Boom.
How can you build a character? How can you build a storyline? How can you make me believe what you're saying? Like how can are you playing on my emotions? Are you pulling my heartstrings? And they've done that every year. When you're able to do those things, like I'm into it. I believe what's going on. You know what I mean? I know what's going on. Obviously, we know there's too many spoilers and things everywhere, so you kind of know what's happening before it happens. But I want to see how you tell the story. Can you tell the story? If that was going to happen, if you have this big vision where one day The Rock and Roman Reigns are going to fight at WrestleMania.
Which we know.
Right, we all know that. We're waiting for it. How are you going to tell us? How are we going to get to that point? We don't know. It's a whole 2-3. It's been in the making for years, right? So it's like you have all this time to build up to it. And one era for real wrestling fans like us can make it like, I wish you didn't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I wish you didn't do that. How else could you have done that? You know what I mean? Like, you have to do it correctly to make it really work. Who's your favorite male competitor? We didn't talk about.
We did. We went off about women. So like, I did say the Rock, Mankind, Stone Cold, Eddie Guerrero. Like those are my guys. I think currently, I must say, I've been sipping, man. You trying to kill me?
Yeah, I ain't till you touch your grass on the Hebes.
You gonna see on the camera? I've been sipping, man.
For the past 2 episodes, Rachel. Shout out to Rachel. She did a great job with drinking. Sergio, you ain't drink.
I've been sipping.
I'll make sure you.
He been ranting talking about Charlotte Flair. He didn't see it.
Woo!
Oh, that was a good one. Get out of here. So I do love Kofi. I like the New Day overall. They won me over. And just because I want to talk about this, because talking about black men, okay? The Hurt Business was a fantastic faction. It was a fantastic group that should have been around, and they disbanded. Why we don't know, but we really know why they disbanded the Hurt Business. Sure, and yes, that's what I think. I think because they were black, they were hot. They were like they killed 2020. They were amazing, but I think but that's one of those things that people actually gravitate towards because they used to black men being like a little more militant, a little more masculine, macho. But that's why I like New Day. Because although they've been going before I got back into wrestling, they represent the nerdiness in me. Like, I love the whole video game world. I love the whole nerdy stuff, the anime stuff. Like, I love Xavier, Kofi, and Big E. Hope he gets well. I like Roman a lot, but I love Seth Rollins even more. I love Kevin Owens even more. And god damn it, I love Ezekiel.
So you talking about Ezekiel, we're talking about New Day, and talking about the Hurt Business. All great. Okay, I'm Ezekiel. And I see a lot of our counterparts love. Go ahead and defend me. A lot of people love Ezekiel. I don't understand about Ezekiel.
Can I go into details of why I love Ezekiel though? Because I feel like
no. I would love to know because I feel like you may represent the mass of why people love Ezekiel. I don't think he's bad. I mean, for me it feels so like old school. It feels so like, and I think you said it's one of the reasons why it's great. It feels like so Rick Rude-ish. Like it's so like behind. I don't know how I feel about like, and it's not even him. It's Elias. It's not Ezekiel.
It's definitely two different people. What are you talking about?
Okay, we're gonna stay in storyline. I'm with it.
I love Ezekiel.
Oh, you really think it's two different people?
Listen, no, it's three.
Ezekiel, El-Ra, and Elias are the same people.
No,
they are.
They're 3 different people.
They are. I'm Kevin Owens. Hey, boy, I'm not even a big Kevin Owens fan, but I see why you get mad.
Yo, they're 3 different people. It's like, this is how like Cactus Jack is different from
Mankind and
Mick Foley. It's 4 different people. Come on, people.
It's the same fucking person.
No, it's not.
You see me? I'm frustrated.
But I can't wait to see all 3 of them in one scene.
It's never gonna happen.
And I want to see them in the very at one time. Like, that'd be great. I want to see
one's gonna get thrown out and the other one's gonna come out.
Well, because it can't be at the same time.
I want to choke slam you right here.
And I'm gonna sell it, okay? I'm gonna flip a few times and hit the fucking door. I'm upset.
Hey, Kevin Owens.
That choke slam.
Oh,
okay?
You're right. You're delusional.
All right, whatever. I do love Ezekiel, but there's other people I like as well.
Okay.
I like let's see, who's my favorite? So I said Seth. I said Ezekiel. A New Day. I love KO, and I am a big fan of somebody that I think is gonna be. I just like Theory. That's not what I'm talking about. Theory's the future.
Before
Theory's
you get to the future. I like we gonna save the one for the. So Theory, I think is great. He has the look, the cockiness. He's really into it. I love it.
Yeah.
I just don't want him to drown him too soon with too many first or too many youngest.
Brock. They did all that with Brock Lesnar already.
I will say that I missed the era where Brock was I didn't realize Brock's impact until like recently.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I didn't grow up a Brock fan, so I didn't know how great he was. So I'm like, damn, Brock was really that nigga.
I like Austin Theory. I think that he is the future. I think Braun Breaker is the future.
Okay.
I think those 2 are Austin and Rock and Cena and Randy.
Hey, my boy Melo.
Here's the thing. I like Melo, but I don't think I know too much about it. I like him a lot.
I agree with you on that point.
But that being said, I know they have a cap with like height. Vince has a certain look he wants, although Vince may be out of
we're going to get to Vince later.
But I do think so. I think that Theory, I think that Braun, I think Braun's going to be number 1. He has the makings to be this era's Stone Cold, Steve Austin. Mm-hmm. I mean, like in terms of like his look, his grit, his moves, he's really a beast. I feel like Theory is more cocky in terms of like The Rock, more like, people say the Cena, I see more Randy Orton. But there's one person that I really see, I'm like, yo, if they really push this guy, he can be the superstar of this generation, and that is Montez Ford. I think Montez, he has a good look. He's a great wrestler. He has the charisma. He has every single making to be a star, and he has that mainstream appeal.
And one of the best frog splashes the industry's ever seen.
It is. And in due time, it will be number 1. And in addition, the biggest thing about Montez Ford is that
he's fucking amazing.
That is definitely the one. But what I'm trying to say is he has
great.
that, yep, the mainstream
Montez Ford is that nigga.
He has the mainstream appeal
to
not only appeal to the white audience, but the black people are going to eat him up. Imagine him being in a rap video. Imagine him being on BT. Imagine him being in all the black award shows. Montez and being on MTV at the same time. Montez has what it takes to be a star. And after he does his wrestling career, I think he's going to eat Hollywood up.
Montez is a phenomenal guy.
And if they don't push Montez forward, racism.
I'm boycotting WWE. I'm not watching it ever again. I promise you. Mm-hmm. If he don't win at least 3 world titles, I'm leaving.
He has it. But that being said, as much as I love Montez Ford, I actually see it for Dawkins as well. I think Dawkins has potential as well. Because Dawkins is actually the big guy that Vince likes.
So I've been having struggles with Dawkins, but I also been seeing a lot of push for Dawkins lately. I've been seeing a lot of
that tag match between the Usos.
Yes,
they showed Dawkins out.
And he had a solo match. I feel like I've never really seen him in a solo match. On Friday, he had a solo match against one of the Usos. He won, but it was controversial. Whatever.
He did a good job.
And yeah, I got this video I got to see on YouTube that I watched, and it was like how the Street Profits should break up.
I don't want them to break up. I want them to split up.
I don't want
It's a difference. I want them to go different brands and then do their thing.
I can agree with that.
Cause like that way, cause I don't want them to have no falling out. I do want Dominic and Rey Mysterio to break up though.
I want Dominic to leave. I want him to go back home. I don't want him here. I want him to try again.
No,
I want him to start back in NXT when it was the black and gold brand. I don't want him doing what he's doing now. I hate Dominic.
No.
He's annoying. He's trying to be his pops on YouTube.
He's too big to be doing the moves that Rey Mysterio. I
think
is corny. He has to go.
He's corny.
He has to go back to train. Different character.
He's corny.
Yep.
I hate Dominic. I wish Eddie Guerrero would have won that match.
Oh, I hate you right now. It took me 3 seconds to realize what you're talking about, and I hate you.
I wish he would have won that match.
I hate you so much. That's real disrespectful.
I wish you would have lost custody.
No, I don't. No. Keep the child with his daddy. Keep the child with his daddy.
You feeling the emotions, huh?
I am, because that was a messed up time for me.
Listen, now if I knew what I knew now back then, I would have been rooting for Eddie.
I like Dominic, and I'm gonna tell you why I like Dominic.
Because Eddie would have told his big ass, "You shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. You're big. You too big. Why you doing 619, nigga? You're not even hitting it right. What are you doing?"
He do got some long ass knees.
He got long. He be having a small ass costumes on, trying to wear Rey Mysterio's like tights. Like, bro, you too big.
Yeah, he got long.
I need him to like. I need him to mush the fuck out of his pops, beat his pops ass, and then leave, and then come back in a new regular uniform.
No. I have an idea.
Just push Rey Mysterio.
I have a storyline. I want Rey Mysterio to get injured. KB, whatever. I want him to get injured to where Dominic has to fend for himself. I want Dominic to snap and like really be a badass. I don't think Dominic's bad. I think his moveset, his gimmick
don't
is
fit him.
It reminds me of The Rock. Rocky Maivia. It's probably before your time, but like that happened with The Rock. I think that Dominic just has a gimmick that we just don't fucking like.
We don't.
So I think that if Rey gets hurt, Dominic spaz and start break like the man shit, like just going fucking niggas up, right? Boom, and then I want him to go on this dark path to when Rey finally comes back. Then it's like Rey's like, yo, don't do that. And then finally he turns on Rey. Like, to me, that makes more sense than him a random turn. And then we get that match at WrestleMania. Do it. Now, hire me as a writer.
Within the writing, he's mentioned storylines. One man has had a lot of control over that era and what it means. The boss, the former chairman, the former CEO of WWE.
These are the quotations.
Now, I mean,
and also rabbit ears.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon, VKM, Vince McMahon. As we all know, if you're not a wrestling fan, you know at least you know about Vince McMahon. Recently, he got caught up in a lot of controversy.
Yeah.
Supposedly, he paid a lot of money for some allegations. He's one of the latest celebrities, billionaires, millionaires that got caught up in a scandal of paying some of his former employees because of certain allegations. I never thought I would see WWE in this light. Seeing them in his headlines made me feel uneasy. Not in a weird way, a bad way. I just never thought I would see them like in this light. How did you feel when the story first dropped? And how do you feel now as more stuff keeps coming out in regards to Vincent McMahon and his allegations? What this means for the future of the World Wrestling Entertainment?
One thing I noticed that Vince did is he said he doesn't like to be thanked.
Doesn't.
Why is that? I'm going to go ahead and assume that you've done some shit in the past that you don't feel good about.
So now Stephanie McMahon, his daughter, who
I love. Absolutely love.
As much as I love Charlotte Flair, y'all heard me talk. I love Stephanie McMahon. And I'm looking at both cameras. I want y'all to know how much I love.
I love Stephanie McMahon too. I think she's great.
Stephanie, I love you. And I'm glad you finally, in regard, it hates to be in this light, but now that Stephanie is the official chairwoman of the World Wrestling Entertainment, quotation, he's gonna keep doing that, and the CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment, I love that. What do you think this means for the future of it? Do you think they're gonna overcome this?
I don't know the behind the scenes politics of WWE, but I love Stephanie McMahon, and I hope that her being more involved, because she actually has just stepped down from a position, and now she's stepping up to a bigger one. I hope that her involvement is good. I know that because of her, women's wrestling became even bigger than what it is. Like, give her credit for that. I think Stephanie's also give her credit for even back then with Trish and Lita, that era as well. Stephanie was a big part of it. She was a part. They were the trio, like they were the three, like the top three. And I just hope that her involvement for real, and it's not just some label shit. I hope that it helps the company.
We going to WrestleMania next year? We had tickets getting on sale. We got to start planning.
Tickets are probably already sold out. But I'm gonna be at the let out though. I'm gonna be at the let out. Yeah. I'm gonna be at the let out. Yeah. I'm gonna be dancing with somebody.
No, we're not going to
somebody.
No. We gotta go to. No.
I'll be there then.
We gonna go.
Yeah.
We're gonna go. We gonna set up plans.
For sure. Yeah.
After this show, we gonna start talking about. We gonna start working on plans. I said we're gonna be there.
Oh, we're gonna be there.
What you winking at the camera for?
Because we're gonna be there.
Why you still looking at the camera? I see this nigga looking at the camera. Why are you winking?
What is in my cup? I just
you don't want to go with me?
I want to go with you. I just don't know how we're gonna get tickets.
We gonna figure it out. We can figure it out. It's in LA.
I believe
we cannot not go in our city. We be at everything. We be at everybody else's watch party, premiere, etc. But
I agree.
So one thing we love, you told me we're not gonna be at it in Hollywood. When we potentially gonna see Roman Reigns versus The Rock, we have to go. We're going. Fuck what you talking about.
That was like. I feel you. We're gonna be there. I believe you this time. I just want to be at WrestleMania in the storyline. I would love to act like just to have that moment.
Yeah.
I would love to be a part of it. And look, Bobby Lashley's what, 46, 7?
He's 40. something?
I think like 47.
No wonder
he is in his prime right now.
In his
Bobby
40s?
Lashley's in his prime right now.
No wonder he like that.
So I got time.
You got me.
I got time to be a good wrestler.
You do?
Okay.
I believe it.
You believe in me? I don't know. I don't believe you believe in me.
We've talked a lot about a lot of things, bro. Clearly, we both wrestling fans. I would hope, one thing I want, hint, hint, that we both can start a project together. I'm really passionate about wrestling. I love wrestling. Like, it makes me happy when I talk about it. And y'all, you can. I think you can see the joy between both of us. And we love wrestling. Like, we love it, and we study it. And it comes from a different passion because of like our respective fields. As a host, as a writer, and Antoine, like, you are an amazing individual. I'm happy I've been able to meet. I met you a year ago. Happy friendship anniversary. And we talk about wrestling a lot, a good bit of the show, but like also you're here for a reason. Besides those things, for those that don't know who Antoine is, Antoine, can you please let our guests, and our fans, and our viewers know who you are? Who are you?
My name is Antoine Tate, aka T. I am definitely multi-hyphenated.
You are.
But doing conversations, I like to say I'm a writer, actor. And then on the side, other things I do is social media marketing, digital marketing. Because you got to know how to market yourself. Everything you do in life is always marketing. You go into a store, you pick up an apple, where it's stationed, with the signs, the prices, is all marketing. You see a commercial, it's all marketing. So I'm just trying to be the master of that. The master of my faith, the master of my soul.
And wrestling is one of the reasons you want to become a writer.
No, it is. Because I feel like, with wrestling, as nerdy as it is, I was a part of something called it's still there, called the Internet Wrestling Community.
Internet Wrestling Community.
The IWC. And back in like earliest 03 to 04, I remember getting online. It's back then when we had like AOL dial-up. Somebody be like, get off the goddamn phone. I need to use the phone. I need to use the phone.
No, but really though.
Now, real talk, like I was like on the internet, get the fuck off the goddamn internet. I need the phone. But I was always like researching wrestling. And so I discovered like role playing. So it's like you create your wrestler and you battle other people with their wrestler through writing. Who can cut the best promo through writing? So I would like write stories. I would write promos. I would write all this different stuff in the format of a script, like a play. And so I would be battling other people with my writing for years. And so when I came out to LA and I looked back at all the wrestling promos that I did, I was like, yo, I've been writing scripts. I've been developing characters. I've been having story arcs since I was like 13 years old. And I can still go back and look at it like, yo, it's not well written, but it's like for a 13-year-old, that shit was already there.
Yeah.
That shit's amazing to me. So it was easy for me to transition into writing scripts.
So you were a part of a great initiative out here in LA, Black Boy Rights, Black Boy Rights, and Black Girl Rights initiative. The initiative matters, and this is gonna correct me. He said, I'm gonna correct you. That's not nothing that you're not. It's my show. And make me sound like I'm dumb. That is a great initiative right here. Amazing program. Congratulations, first off, I should say that. Congratulations to you for being a part of that. First off, how did you get involved with this initiative? What made you want to get involved with this initiative? And how do you plan on using it to take you further within your writing career?
Yeah, so being a part of Black Boy Rights, Black Girl Rights initiative is like really fire. Thanks to Mike, Gaio. Shout out to the creator of the program. I had a few friends who were in the first cohort. And then when it just happened, and one day I just saw them talking about it.
This is fairly new?
Yeah, last year.
So you're like part of the
second cohort. Yeah,
history?
so it's like new, it's history, yeah. And like they were talking about it, and I was like, yo, I didn't even hear about this. Like, when did this happen? And then this year, I started hearing more about it. So Mike had like press releases, and like news articles, and like Deadline. I'm like, yo, this is fire. Like, this is really a thing. And so, because my other friends were already on it, I was like, yo, like, what's this about? So I just submitted it, and then I passed on my script. I was like, I bet, here we go. And mind you, I've submitted this stuff before. I was like, okay, cool. I'm just happy that I had a chance to get past one round. Then the next round, I passed. I was like, oh, okay.
This is happening.
I was like, they like my essay, my script and my essay. Cool. The last round was like an interview. And once we did the interview, I was like, I can sell myself. Like, I don't have an issue selling myself. I like talking to people when I want to talk to people.
We know.
And and then the interview happened. And so the interview happened, and I got the email, the call, whatever, saying I got it, and I'm happy. We had like a nice. My cohort's fire. My cohort's dope. Like, I love y'all.
Shout
whatever.
out to y'all.
They really dope. And we had a photo shoot. It was like Vogue. Like everyone was looking like dancing, like fancy, like I said, dancing, dapper, fancy, and we just looked great, and it was official. And one thing I learned about LA too is like when you tell people that you do something, they're like, yeah, sure, okay, I believe you, whatever, because everyone says they do everything. But then it takes for you to have an article, it takes for you to have a photo shoot, for everyone to be like, oh, you actually serious about this? I told you that I'd be writing.
Does this initiative work where you have to have like an original piece? And is that original piece what you work on through your entire process, or do you switch it up?
Yeah, for sure. Like, some of us are using scripts that we use to get into the program. Others are just pushing other scripts.
So what's your pitch? Are you using the one you audition with, or have you picked a different one?
So pretty much every month we have people that go into the chopping block. Like, this is a script, we read it, we give critiques. For me, I haven't gone yet. So I do have the script that I put in
What's
the program.
your script about?
It's about a plus size actress trying to make it in LA. And because she has different roadblocks, she decides to carve her own lane. And it's called Plump, and it's created by Tiffany Parker. Okay. And then she brought me on board, and we both took it to a whole new level. So it's fire.
Early on, I know you haven't went on the chopping block yet. Is there anything you think you could change and manipulate to make it better?
For the script, I have ideas as to what I want to change, but I actually want to be put on the chopping block so they can tell me with different, like, fresh eyes. Like, I have ideas, but I want to know what y'all think. Especially, I'm not a black woman. I mean, Tiffany is, so she has perspective, but I want to know, like, for my cohort, there's not a plus size black woman in the group as well. So it makes sense as to why I would want them to read the script and say, you know what, I love it, or I don't love it, or I like it, but this is how you can make it better. Because I'm okay with being critiqued. Just critique me respectfully, and also give me feedback, because giving feedback is a skill. They'll tell you, I don't like that shit. Cool, you don't like it, but how can I make it better? And if you can't offer that, then mind your business.
First off, bitch, mind your business. What is your hope at the end of this initiative?
My ultimate goal, which is also the goal of the program, is to be repped and to continue to expand my network.
Yeah.
Because again, once people saw it, people that I know who are showrunners or producers, they already know them already, know me. But that was the first time they saw.
Big time.
It's like, yo, okay. Because, like, it's like you can't expect somebody to push for you if they don't believe in your brand. And they can't believe in your brand if you don't believe in yourself. So you have to show that you're worth the time. It's an investment. You can't tell people to just invest in them. You got to prove that you're worth the investment. So for me, it's like I want to make sure that, one, my scripts are fire, that I continue to write and get good feedback. I want to be repped. And I want to be repped to the point where I have a team that I can walk into a room and feel comfortable without someone stealing it. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to walk in, because it's like, some people think that you gotta write all these scripts. You need to write scripts to get repped, to get noticed, but I wanna be able just to show my idea and then get paid to write. Pay me to write.
Pay you?
Pay me. F you, pay me. Like, I don't want to just keep writing for it on my own time. I want to pitch a concept. I want you to say I love it and pay me to write it. I'm trying to get that, because writers make a lot of money, y'all. Writers make a lot of damn money. What you make in a year, we can write and get in like 12 weeks. And they go across
every platform, because like songwriters, behind the scenes, ghostwriters, etc. You can write, you gonna make money, you gonna get paid.
Listen.
Do you see yourself ever entering like a Tyler Perry, an Oprah?
That's the goals. Ultimate goals. Like,
that's what I was asking. What's your end goal with all this?
I absolutely love Tyler. Although people have issues with his content, I understand why, but he knows his niche audience. I love Tyler Perry. I love Oprah. And then in the past decade, Donald Glover, Issa Rae, Lena Waithe.
Shout out to Issa. Shout out to
they Jordan Peele. Like,
shout out to Jordan.
They are Ava DuVernay. Like, they are killing the game. Like, and what they do is pretty much what I want to do. And I've always wanted to do that. When I was 15, I created a whole list of things that I wanted to do. Like, these are the different avenues and different industries that I want to tackle. Education, Hollywood. I wasn't doing marketing, but I did have wrestling on there as well. I'm gonna get my title one day. And all this different stuff at 15. Because I realized that, unlike most people, all of the fun things I did when I was like 15, 13, 14, I am now making money from it, at this current time.
Yeah.
I'm not making money on wrestling just yet. We're talking about it.
We're about to.
I'm having a good time. I'm just making money off all my hobbies. And I ultimately want to make sure that I bring love back to DC. I think people don't understand how dope DC is. They think politics.
DC is dope. I've only been two times, but the first time was cool. Second time I felt like I had a chance more to experience it. And like, if I ever leave LA, I would at least want to live in DC for some time. Don't know how long, but I want to live there because it's beautiful. Black.
DC is DC has hoods that are gorgeous. How many hoods you know that's ghetto as hell?
Because Howard's in the hood, right?
As fuck. We got flowers and grass, bro.
Howard's in the hood, right?
It was.
Okay.
Gentrification. Hate it, love it, hate it. But anyway, yeah, so I want to bring Hollywood to DC. All my projects are inspired by people that I know. They're inspired by my environment, and I just can't wait till people like really see our culture. I can't wait.
So I'm gonna kind of take a detour a little bit. We talk about a lot of different things.
A lot of things.
And I feel like I know you, but I also don't feel like I know you.
Oh.
I feel like I know you, but I don't feel like I know you.
I get that all the time.
And I feel like you're this really great person. You have like an amazing talent. You have an amazing focus. What's your ultimate inspiration? Like, what really drives you? Like, you moved out here from DC. You're out here in LA. You're chasing your dreams. You're all at these events. You're in these spaces. You're like creating this aura. You have an amazing aura about you.
Okay.
What made that happen? Like, what's really the root of who AT is? Like, what really made you become this person that you are today?
I think my mother. I really think my mother made me. She allowed me just to be me. I can't really call many times or any time where she was like, "Yo, stop acting like this. Stop doing that." Like, my mother was just like,
whatever you want to do, she embraced it.
She embraced it. I don't think my father too, but I don't think my parents ever forced me or encouraged me to do stuff. But anything that I decided to do, they supported it. And I really just don't. I think I was oblivious. I was smart, but I was oblivious to a lot of shit because I was able to be myself. But my mother, R.I.P., she passed away last year, but she is my driving force. And all my creative stuff, I look at, I'm like, yo, any mother character is her. I have other things that I haven't completely finished that are based off me and her and I relationship. And she knows I was writing about her. Like, any dumb shit she did, she was like, "You gonna write about this shit, ain't you?" I was like, "You're damn right. I'm gonna write about this."
You like the best man. Like, you like Tate Diggs. I shouldn't tell you that because you gonna write about it.
I'm gonna write about it. You should have done it.
Then you should have favorite Tate.
God damn it! Now she bringing up Tate Diggs. I'm tired of getting people telling me that.
I just thought about when you said it. You kind of favorite a little bit.
Lakeith Stanfield. I get goddamn Gold Link. I done got Will I Am.
That favorites Lakeith very strongly. He think he's coming out with us tonight. You'll meet him.
All right, we're gonna meet him. We're gonna take a picture and then send it to Lakeith.
And we figure out who he gonna pick.
We're gonna pick it. We're gonna send. I mean, like, me and him, we Facebook friends. We always cross paths. Like, we cross paths. We never been able to say like really talk, but we've always crossed paths. And one day I'll pass on a line, and he gonna be like, "What's up, nigga?" I'm be like, "Yo, what's up, nigga?" He be like, "Yo, why you look like me?" At the same time. I can't wait.
I feel that. That's me and Usher.
Okay. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. All right. My mother. I ain't gonna do that. Yeah, watch this. Watch this.
So, I have to ask. You know what I mean? Your mother seems like your rock. She seems like someone that really held you down, that really pushed you.
She is, man.
My condolences. You can get in deep as you want to, but I'm gonna ask you if you don't mind sharing how she passed away. But also, was you losing somebody that was very close to your heart and someone that was like one of your biggest inspiration to who you are today and really made you become this amazing guy you are? Like, how did you overcome it, and how did you like continue to like live on her legacy and like make sure you make mom proud regardless at the end of the day?
Regarding how she passed, to be transparent, I don't know. There's speculation how she passed. Like, she wasn't a drug addict or anything like that. Yeah. But my mother she wouldn't tell me what's going on with her.
Okay. And
so I have speculation as to what may have happened. I know that she was in a lot of pain. I'll let y'all think about what that could have been.
Absolutely.
And I just know one day she took medicine, and that was the last time I heard talks for her. And so I think that, it sucks, but I deal with pain differently than most people.
How's that?
I can read people, and then even though it may not be a good thing, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but I have all these thoughts about what could possibly happen anyway. Like, why that happened, like, okay, so what's going on? And so I saw my mother for the last time because I went to my cousin's funeral like 3 weeks before. So because his funeral was the last time I was able to see my mother. And when I saw her, I was like, she ain't look right.
Because she stays in DC.
And she don't look right. And I immediately said, I was like, I hope I'm not back here in a few weeks. And I was back here in a few weeks. So I think she didn't look right. And I was like, something's off. And I was hoping I wasn't come back. But I think it's because of those moments I was able to like process, like, what if? I'm able to process the what ifs. So if it happens, it's like it doesn't hit as hard.
Yeah.
But I knew she had issues, health issues. And so I kind of prepared myself anyway.
My mom always been there for you.
Huh?
She's always been there for you. Though.
Always. And, you know, and I was looking forward to the day I can take her to the award shows. I was looking forward to it. She was looking forward to it. But I knew the possibilities. I knew I was realistic about it. And I think most people don't want to face those moments.
Yes.
They don't want to think like that, but I had to.
It's hard to, but
I already
you
had
have
to. I had to. And so when it happened, I was able to prepare for it. What I wasn't prepared for was the amount of love I received, right? So I wasn't prepared for that. It was a lot. And also, funerals are a fucking scam, bro.
I don't like funerals.
The whole industry's a fucking scam.
I gotta say this because you're my friend, so and everybody that's watching, peep this. Whenever I pass away, it's gonna happen. I don't want no funeral.
Oh, okay.
Don't y'all cry.
Want a party?
I want a party. Y'all can put my ass shit. I want to be cremated. I want to be cremated. I don't want. I literally have a little area for me. You know, a nice picture of my ashes in a nice little urn. Shout out to the Undertaker. You know, tight vibes. And like, turn the fuck up.
Hear me out.
Please.
Hear
if
me
you
out.
know me, you know that I'm turn up. So don't cry. Like, you can turn up. To my frat brothers, Nasty Song, my favorite show, Strolling Around My Urn. Like, that's Strolling Around My Urn. Sorry. Do that. It's tight vibes.
That's fine. Hear me out. I want to say this.
Yes.
I want to say this. What I've realized in life is that funerals and sometimes birthdays.
Love birthdays.
It's not for you. My mother's funeral, it was fantastic. We had a horse and a carriage. Had a gold casket that was thousands of dollars.
No.
It was a dope ass funeral, y'all. But I realized my mother didn't care about that. I didn't care about that.
Right.
It was for everybody else to send her off.
Correctly. That's why I say
it wasn't about her. It was for us. So I was like, because I didn't want that shit. I was like, I don't care about that. You can put on some goddamn put on some nice shoes. My sister gave her red bottoms. It was like all this kind of stuff. So I realized it was about us and how we send it off.
I don't want that. Y'all all in this room know and on camera know what I want.
For sure, and we gonna honor that.
Thank you. God forbid, but
we gonna honor that.
Make what I want happen.
This not even real wood, bro. It's what it is.
Whoa, you judging the wood on my shit?
You painted this.
Disrespectful.
That's wood though. But anyway,
fuck you.
Anyway, you're right. But yeah, my mother's my rock. So
I love that. I love. Thank you for sharing that with us. First off, I love where it's going. I love who you are. I love what you're becoming. You're rebranding. So you made a post the other day on your page. You was like, rebrand coming.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, man. So I was recently when I go out, I've been hearing like little murmurs. People keep saying certain stuff to me. I didn't like it, but I didn't dislike it. But it made me think about like, okay, so why is that? And so when someone says something like, "Yo, AT or Antoine, I don't like you." Well, not I don't like you. I have an issue with you. Or why do you do this? It makes me think. I don't get mad about it. I think about like, why do they say that? And once I figure out the why, it's like, okay, well, how can I change? How can I better myself? What I've noticed recently is that I've heard comments like, "Oh wow, you look just like your pictures," or "Oh wow, you look better in person."
You don't feel like who you look on Instagram is who you are?
I don't know, because I only put all my best pictures on Instagram. But that ain't the point.
Who you are.
But it could be a good thing and a bad thing, but I take it as a good thing. But it was like, okay, you actually look better in person. And then I started looking at my pictures and my branding, and I was like, what is my branding? When people think of me, who is it? And one of my friends like, you had this quirky, nerdy, creative type look, which I like.
Agreed.
And I was like, I'm okay with that.
But when people get nerdy, they're like,
it's like, oh,
it's the look.
What I got from it, I'm gonna be real with you, what I got from it is like, they know my social media aesthetic. They're like, oh, he's actually attractive in person. Like, oh, I like him. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like his vibe. Mm-hmm. Oh, he actually has like a certain type of soul. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't get that from social media. So from that, I was like, okay, cool. I know how I am in real life. I know when I vibe with you, I vibe with you. When I fuck with you, I fuck with you. So how can I rebrand and make sure that you get that immediately from my pictures? Can you get that immediately from the way I speak? And I'm also I'm known for being creative, but also being a trolling and like conversation starter. I'm like, how can I rebrand? Because one, I've been working out. I know the body that I want. I was like, yo, I know I'm entering a phase in my life where my income is growing, and I want to make sure I want to travel. I want to have a better apartment. And the biggest thing that pisses me off, that it's my fault, it's the social aspect. I love being around people, right? I love meeting people.
Are you like my twin?
Yeah. But I think the biggest issue is that in my current place, I'm not actually able to be as social as I want to. So how can I change and rebrand that?
What do you mean you're not able to be as social as you want to?
There's different factors. Like it's either I'm working too much, or it's like, yo, like y'all trying to travel to Mexico, I can't.
Or you
go.
trying to be financial? Ooh, I like how you said it because like that's my struggle right now. Where
I want to.
I know I have a certain state of who I am. So if I had to be in LA, being on certain scenes, not people may say, I tell my friends all the time, it's like I don't just be turning up. You may see me on like I'm turning up, but I'm networking. And then with Black Hollywood, it's kind of like you have to be at certain events, or at least that's the understanding or the narrative that's created. So we have to be on certain sets, whether it's Soho House or this party or this vibe, to where it's like it's gonna help you, but then that causes you spending money that you may not have because you want to be on this status. So it's like I have to choose a sacrifice. Either I'm gonna be here and be broke, or be here or be away and building to be this person so I can bring more money so now I can be at Soho House. Type of thing.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that point. Yeah, like it's hard because I love people. Love people. I love being out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love creating it. People have this thing in love about me, but that shit costs money to be who Lamar really is. It costs money.
And this is one of my favorite quotes. I have many, but this is my new favorite one. My quote is, I cannot wait until my money catch up to my fucking attitude. It's a wrap.
I went to Zara today, bro. Zara had so much amazing shit today, and I'm looking around. I'm like, I can't afford all this. It was $50 a shirt, and it, bro. I can't shop at Zara. I'm a small guy, so like I can't fit everything in Zara because I just can't. But it had so many amazing things today. I went today.
Okay.
That's where I got a shirt from.
Hey, pretty in pink.
Pretty in pink, exactly. And I was like, fuck, I want this. I'm very transparent. I'm not rich just because I live in LA. I posted a picture yesterday on Instagram where it was like visiting LA and then living in LA, and it's a dark times. People think, oh, you living out, we in Hollywood, we got the stars, but then when you living here, like we all have like 20 different jobs, doing some of those jobs we don't want to do, whether we're door dashing, we're videographers, we're social media managers, and this and that, and we don't want to do that, and we walking around looking like whatever, and it's a dark spaces.
Dark time.
Because we know what the end goal, where it's going to lead us, but we have to do the dirty work out here in the city, and it's like, you want to be a writer, ultimately, I think. I want to be a host.
I am a writer, and you are a host.
That's why I love LA. We are we are a writer and a host, and we do
You're
other
literally
things.
hosting right now?
I am hosting right now. We literally, and we speak into existence to make it make sense, and it gets difficult. A lot of people be scared. One of my boys, my Neo, he's actually he finally decided to make the jump to move to a different area, and sometimes it's a lot hard for people to move to make a jump. Especially when you come to LA, it's hard. They be like, I'm scared. You can't be scared in this field. If you gotta give advice to people that want to move out here.
Yeah.
Or people that already are out here, how do you survive?
I know for me, like, in the shortest, quickest way possible is that, I was on politics at Penn State, and I was gonna go to DC to do politics. I think that I had the opportunity to come out here, and they gave me 2 weeks. I dropped every political aspiration in DC, and just moved straight to LA. And for me, it's like, I just went with it. I had the opportunity, I took it, I wanted to be out here, and I have been here ever since. I do think that if you overthink it, it can be detrimental to you. I think that some people just like, yo, I gotta have this set up. Yo, just find you a place. If you can stack up some money for last you a few months, 3 months, 4 months, cool. But just know, like, just get here. Getting here is the biggest thing. Just make sure you fucking get here first.
Get here.
And then
figure it out.
Because
so once you hear, because LA has opportunities 24/7. I think we all can attest, between you, Cora, you know what I mean? We all know, like, opportunities kind of come, like, day to day. Like, it may be like, hey, are you free? And it's like, shit, I am. And now you got this extra money that I know I've been in space to where I'm in my room, or I'm taking a shower, or I may be short on money, or whatever it is. And I'm just like, damn. And God, the universe, whatever, my opportunity, my connection, my network, they always come through. And I'm getting it. And I'm like, damn, extra $300 in my pocket that I was missing. But that's why I don't stress. Because it literally comes like, hey, yo, you free? It's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So, like, I think that ultimately is, like, really, really, like, a great feeling.
Well, as a freelancer, man, money be coming randomly as hell.
It's random as fuck.
But I can't go tonight. I'm just kidding.
I'm pulling up on you. What we got?
I'll be here.
Can you? And sometimes I be like, But I'm like, nigga, you need this. Ain't no, you need this money, nigga. Get your ass up. Bro, you've been a phenomenal guest. You've been great. You said a lot. You shared a lot of jewels and things like that. How can people keep up with you? And hell, reach out to you for branding tips, advice, talk wrestling, and keep up with your writing journey.
Yeah, man. So again, my name is Antoine Tate, aka AT. You can follow me on all social medias: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube,
you on TikTok?
whatever. I'm on TikTok. I have a TikTok.
You
profile.
don't post?
I don't post, not yet.
I'm gonna teach you rebranding. I got you.
It's rebranding.
Oh,
Post with intentions. I don't post without intentions. But you can find me at ITS World. It's AT's World. So that's on all my platforms. Again, at ITS World. Bow.
Bow. And just like that, y'all, it's another episode of Live with Lamar. Shout out to Charlotte Flair. Woo!
Boss.
Wrestling show, wrestling podcast coming soon. We can say it in existence, right?
I think, yes, manifest it. Yeah.
It's going to happen. Between y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. And stay tuned for more episodes and more vibes. Can we do a last cheers before we close out? Real quick to the camera. We got to do a...
Are we going down this or what?
I'm ready down it.
You sipping or we going to drink it?
I'm down it. We down it.
I gotta take the shot.
We down it. We going down it.
In front of everybody?
We down it all.
Which camera? This camera?
Whichever one. Just look straight ahead. We going down it. Boom.
Ready?
Cheers. Thank you, brother. Boom. Cheers to the main camera right there. And chug it.
Damn.
Oh. Woo. That's a lot. Woo. Fuck.
I ain't drunk. You are.
Low key. Low key. Thank you for tuning in. Tune in for another episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Follow my boy. Follow me. We'll be back soon with another episode of Live with Lamar. Y'all have a good night, a good day, a good week, a good everything.
Good year.
Good year. Peace out.